Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the SPY. We closed at 624.06, and it seems as if y'all, it's making trade what you see. That's the only way I can sum that one up. So where's the trouble places? I always like to go to the gathering spot. Seems like price gathered in this area, tried to move back up. Seems like it's trying to move back to the upside. Got rejected here at this ATR trail and stop. That's a strong resistance area in my opinion. So where are the trouble places as of now? The 623.95 seems to be our support area above the 5 EMA. So we're continuing to the upside. We could possibly have trouble 624.30. Should we break that, we could possibly have trouble again around the 624.57 and breaking that level 624.90. Now should we break the 624.90, the next level I have marked is this 625.88. Keep in mind we could very well get stopped out anywhere in between this area here. So breaking that 625.88, we have 626.30 as a high that we could possibly try to break through. Is the SPY going to make new highs today? That's interesting, right? So back to the downside, let's say we break under this the 5 EMA, the 623.95 area, we can come back to the 623.50 again here at 623.25. See price gathered in this area here, and the 20 EMA is there as of now. Now what's interesting is there's a few layers of support right here, starting around the 623.03 down to the 622.85. There's a few layers of support. However, one including the 50 EMA, should we break this level 622.85, we could very well come back. You see the ATR trail and stop is forming here at the 622.48. So breaking that 622.48 for the SPY today, we could possibly have trouble 622.13, and breaking that brings us back to around the 621.68. Breaking that level, we could very well come back to the 200 EMA around the 621.31, and breaking that level 620.95. Now breaking that brings us back to around the 620.66. and here at the 620.46, 620.29, not very far away so that could be a strong support area for the SPY today. Now breaking that brings us back to around the 619.96. So if the SPY is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully. Y'all know in this market anything is possible, right? So we are now looking at Tesla. Tesla closed at 295.88, and it kind of looks like the SPY, right? We found some bounce off of a support area only to come up and get rejected with this ATR trail and stop. So as of right now, for support, Tesla support is around 298.50. Resistance, we can say here 298.87, right? Small, not very far away. To the upside, we could possibly have trouble again, 299.05, breaking that area 299.28. Should we break that level around the 299.75, $300.22. Now the 200 EMA is around the $300.44, not very far away. However, breaking that, we could very well have trouble again around the 301.12. Breaking that level, we could possibly have trouble 302.30. Keep in mind, anything can stop us out in between this area here. So breaking the 302.30 area, we could possibly have trouble again at 302.79. Breaking the 302.79 area, we could possibly have trouble again around 303.29. Now breaking that 303.29, it looks like the 304.29 is the next level of resistance. Now back to the downside, let's say we break under this level 298.50. There's a few layers there down to the 298.20. So if we should break this area, it brings us back to kind of like this zone that we were trading in. So the next level I have marked is around the 297.50. 296.59, breaking that 297.30, and again 296.88. Now breaking that 296.88, you see the ATR trail and stop is forming around the 296.23 area, and then I have this level of 296.03 as a possible support area. Now breaking that brings us back to the 294.95 right here in this zone here that Tesla was trading in. So it seems like we bounced from there a few times. Now, should we come back down? Can we break through? That will be something to watch, right? So under 294.95 we could very well come back to. I need to mark this level around the 294.10, and breaking that level we can come back to the 293.50. So if Tesla is something that you trade today, y'all know I say trade carefully. Why? Because this market is interesting, right? So NVDA is definitely making higher highs for us, and you know, we closed at 162.88. Pre-market high is 164.50. Let's look back to the downside, because it is showing us that, you know, it does want to move higher. We just mark those levels as it continues to make higher highs, right? So back to the downside, the high for today, we closed again at 162.88. 164.50 was the high pre-market. Support areas 164.12. Again here at the 163, around the 163.82, breaking that 163.37. Should we break that 163.04 and breaking that level brings us back to around this level of 162.56. Should we break that level, we could very well come back to 162.07. Now breaking that, we can come back to around the 160.99. And if we break that 160.99, I have 160.64, and here at 160.33, which is not far from that 200 EMA at the 160.22. So if NVIDIA is something that you trade today, I would say trade carefully, mark your levels, and once it goes against your wide, get out. Pay very close attention to those new highs, and yeah, trade what you see, right? So we're now looking at AMD. We closed at 138.41, and whew, it seems like it created a gathering spot only to move back to this upside above the 5 EMA. Where are the trouble places as of now? It looks as if we could possibly have trouble at 141.80. I do need to mark that something stopped us at this area right here around the 141.41. Something stopped us at this area. So moving beyond that, again, we could possibly have trouble 141.80, and again 142.23, breaking that 143.03. Now keep in mind, anything can stop us out here, breaking that 143.03 area for AMD. 143.44, 143.69, 144. If we break that 144, we have, let's say, 144.29, and again at 144.60. Those are possible areas of rejection for AMD as of now. Again, not financial advice. Now to the downside, let's say we break under the 141.03, and as we see here, the 5 EMA is kind of like not far from that area. Breaking this brings us back to this level here around the 140.52. Breaking that level brings us back to 139.97. Under that 139.54, breaking that level 139.11. 138.78. Now there's a few layers of support here from the 138.78 down to the 138.38. Breaking that brings us back to this level around 138.14. And what's interesting is we've hit this area. Something stopped us recently here, 200 EMA and a level that I have marked, right? So something stopped us here. If we come back to this area again, can we break through the next time? That's something to, you know, be mindful of. If AMD is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully. Keep in mind, breaking under this 200 EMA around the 138.15, we could very well come back to 137.70, and again at 137.23. So I say trade carefully today. It should be an interesting day as always in the market, right? So let's go look at Meta today just to see where we are. We closed at 732.78, and it seems like it's been trading in this gathering spot. Like, is it setting up for something? So we have to definitely trade carefully. Support as of now is around 732.33, and resistance we can say is around the 733.51. So I'm going to mark this level. Why? Because this would be a like a little small area of resistance or support. Let me say that. I like to look at it on a smaller scale. Why? Because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where my possible trouble places are, and something stopped us in this area. We see that here, we see here and here. So yes, Support is around for Meta as of now, 732.33. Resistance around 733.62. Breaking that 734.34. Breaking that 735.43. And if we break that level, 736.32, and breaking that level brings us back to 738.18. And if we break that 738.18 for Meta, we could possibly have trouble 740.70. Now back to the downside. Let's say we break under this level here, 731.07. We have the 50 EMA at 730.75 as of now. That could be a support area, and the ATR trailing stop 729.94. Breaking that 729.14 could be a support area. Should we break that 727.77, and breaking that brings us back to around 726.99. Now should we break that, we have 725.46 and the 200 EMA, which is not far away at the 725 area. So if Meta is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully. We do have a few inside day candles for today, Carvana being one of those, meaning if we should break above this level, then this is the possible target, or if we break under this level, this is our target, right? So to the up, Carvana, CVNA, to the upside, if we break above 354.03, upside target for Carvana today is 364.20. Now to the downside, under 342.87, downside target 342.37. Carvana is an inside day candle. I want to see how much it normally moves per day. $13.92. That is the ATR, which is the average true range for the stock to run. And I say anything is possible, right? So if Carvana is something that you trade today, again, it is an inside day candle. Now Devon Energy, or DVN, is also an inside day candle above 35.03. Upside target for today 35.20. Now to the downside, under 34.22, we have a downside target for Devon today at 32.70. So if DVN or Devon Energy is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully. GDX is also an inside day candle. Let's say if we break above 51.67, upside target 52.96. Now to the downside, under $50.54, downside target $50.33. So GDX is an inside day candle. GLD it's also an inside day candle above 305.55. Upside target was 306.43. As you can see, we've already reached that target. Pre-market high is 306.65. Now, can we come back to the downside? We very well can. Say, for instance, we break under 303.16. We have a downside target for GLD at 302.64. So if that is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully. Intel, or INTC, is an inside day candle above 23.53. Upside target 23.80. Now to the downside, under 23.13, we have a downside target of 22.13. So if INTC is something that you trade, I will mark my levels, and once it goes against your Y, I say get out. So we are now looking at J&J. It is an inside day candle above 156.68. have 156.77 as the target. Under 155.01, downside target 154.20. So J&J is an inside day candle for today. Oxy is also an inside day candle for today. Now to the upside, that 45.85 breaking through, that gave us 45.86, not very far away. Seems to be trading in this zone here. So are we going back to the downside, right? So breaking under the 45.22, downside target is 43.30. So if you trade Oxy today, it is an inside day candle. PFE, or Pfizer, is also an inside day candle for today above 25.84. Upside target 25.96. Under 25.33 for PFE today. 25.20 is the target for today for Pfizer. So if that's something that you trade, I say it often, y'all trade carefully. Roblox, or RBLX, is an inside day candle above 106.71. Target was 106.83. We have already reached that target pre-market. 106.90 has been the high. Now, can we come back to the downside? Absolutely. Back to the downside, under 104.29. Downside target 103.20. So Roblox, or RBLX, is an inside day candle. Rivian, RIVN is next on the list. If by chance we break above 1332, we have an upside target 1337, not very far away. Now to the downside, under 1305, downside target for Rivian today is 1278. Let's see, just to see how much it normally moves per day. Only 52 cents per day, and again, that could be in either direction. So if Rivian is something that you trade today, it is an inside day candle for today. So Shopify is on our list as an inside day candle. Let's say we break above this level here of 114.95. We have an upside target at 118.35. Now to the downside, under 112.55, downside target for Shopify today is 111.29. So if Shopify is something that you trade today, again, it is an inside day candle. So y'all, this is, what I see when I look at the market. I'm going to go back to the SPY just to see kind of, it looks like we're still finding support at this 5 EMA. Losing that level can bring us again back down to the 623.50, and I always say that Tesla does what Tesla does, right? So right now it looks like it's going to do what it's going to do, right? Just keep in mind that 200 EMA is around the $300.44. We could very well move to this area and get rejected and come back to the downside again. Not financial advice. So y'all, again, this is what I see when I look at the market. There's so many different ways to trade the market, and again, what's challenging is trying to figure out the strategy that works best for you and to have the discipline to execute that, y'all. I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive day. If you could please, again, like, share, comment, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.